Good morning, adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I'm pretty tired, just waking up. But where did we wake up? That's the question. So let's go find out. Today we're waking up in Olympic National Forest, and we stayed here at this campground overflow lot. Now, typically, I wouldn't have paid to stay in an overflow parking lot. However, last night we arrived here pretty late. In the last couple of days, we've been noticing a few things in finding campsites. Sometimes our GPS has been leading us kind of astray. And so last night, whenever we arrived here and noticed that the campground itself, which is a walk-in campground right here, was actually already full, we noticed something kind of interesting on this sign and decided this is where we were going to call home for the day. Everything here looks pretty normal at Gatton Creek. It says overnight camping is $25, including one vehicle, but they do have extra vehicles for $5. 14-day consecutive limit is the limit on this. But then you come over to this sign, and it actually says there's an overflow parking and large vehicle parking available across the street at the trailhead. Now, when we first got here, the trailhead is literally right there. So we had seen an RV and also a smaller car parked with their window like screens up and everything like that. So we knew that they were staying there, but we didn't want to stay in the trailhead until we figured out for sure if we could. And so we came over here and noticed this sign, and sure enough, we can. You just have to pay for the same thing that you have to pay for the campground. So we got to thinking, well, maybe that means if there is also some parking over here, we could stay. So we looked it up, and sure enough, there's nothing saying you cannot as long as you are contained within your vehicle. So for $25 plus $5, $30 for a night, we stayed here. Now, again, not typical to pay for parking in a parking lot. However, we got here super late. We didn't want to have to deal with it. And also, we saw this view.
Goes round and round in circles, but I'm still on the ground. It's a dizzying day. I would give a lot to get away. It's getting real dark in here. Feels like I've been here 1,000 years. Could you bring some light to me?
So as you can see, it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. And every so often, I'll find a place like this. I don't mind paying a little bit to see, because otherwise I wouldn't have access to this in the same way. Now, we did check a couple of other campgrounds ahead of us, and a couple of them are reservation only. So it makes it a little harder during the summer months to get one of those reservations. So we were very fortunate to wake up to this morning. And we are going to be pushing north and continuing upward into Olympic National Park. But wow, what a place to wake up. And this place is nice. It had restrooms, it has trash collection, all the things that we could need as nomads. It rained a little bit last night and it was just oh so peaceful. Wow. Oh, so happy we're in Washington right now. This is one of my happy places. Definitely one of my happy places. Don't know what exactly we just got on film there, but that was kind of neat. Oh, but that's not the only critters I've been seeing. I also saw this massive slug, which was so cool. And then there's been so many beautiful birds. Now, with the rain last night, it smells so fresh and crisp here. And it's definitely a good introduction back to the Pacific Northwest. The air is just different. And I'm noticing the clouds above, well, they're starting to dissipate just a little bit. And you can see that as they're dissipating, some blue is popping through. So it looks like it's going to be a beautiful sunny day. Now, realistically, if I had to find one downside to this particular spot, other than the fact that it's just a parking lot, because I know that's going to be a deal breaker for some of you, it would be this right here. This is the roadway through. And because of that, you can see, here's the roadway, and there's our van. There's not a lot of separation there. And so even though there wasn't a lot of traffic last night or anything like that, this morning I could definitely hear people starting to go down the road a lot more. But this is what woke me up. I was sitting in my van. I was awake, and then all of a sudden I heard the walkie. Now, I didn't turn off my walkie last night, which is my fault. I should have done that. But I thought at first, oh no, is everything okay? Even though, again, I'm awake, but in my mind it wasn't registering. And then I realized it was picking up from the roadway. While we're checking out this spot, let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. They do have a handicap accessibility ramp right here. However, I will say it's a bit overgrown. It does go to the bathroom. There's also some stairs over there. The bathroom is just 2 standard vault toilets, and then the trash is right there. And then they also have one over by the camping area. Again, this is a walk-in campsite, so you park in this lot and then you walk down the path to the actual campsite. So I think there's like 7 or 8 of them down there. It's a really nice place. We went and browsed yesterday and thought, ooh, if they have one available, we might as well mark it and then use the picnic table in the morning, and that will be our site. But they didn't have any. So yeah, so we just decided we would go ahead and stay here and use the picnic area, which is over by the water that I just showed you. There's 2 separate areas. There's a day use and a camping area. The biggest benefit to having the camping area, though, is that they do have fire rings. So if you want to have a campfire during fire safe seasons, of course, you can, but it has to be contained in that ring. So this is a regular traditional campsite, just enjoyed a little bit differently in this particular case. And I really appreciate the fact that they have opened that up as an option in this region. Now, when I pulled up iOverlander, there were a lot of different free campsites in this area, but I noticed many of them were no more than a single turnout. Sometimes those are not the best. Even though Riley and I both have smaller vehicles, 2 vehicles still have to comfortably fit. And a lot of those turnoffs are designed for 1 vehicle. And so that doesn't really work sometimes. Also, in this particular area, cell service is pretty sketchy. So as Riley and I were determining yesterday when we were looking for a site, our GPS was kind of just spinning us in different directions. Riley prefers using Google Maps. I prefer using Apple Maps in situations like this, just because 1, we can have kind of a comparison. But 2, I have learned that in the United States that Google is not as good at getting you around in some of the more remote areas, even with the GPS coordinates. So a lot of these logging roads and things like that, if they have a turnoff, it might be able to get you to the road, but it may not be able to help you find the turnoff that you're looking for. And so by using the 2 kinds of GPS, it just comes in handy sometimes. Oh, but wait. Day before yesterday, we had an incident where both of us found the same site on iOverlander. We hit the button, it took us to Google Maps. Google Maps took us to the middle of, well, Deliverance. That's what we'll call it. Deliverance. It did not look welcoming. It did not look happy. There were no trespassing signs everywhere in like a really uncomfortable way. And as we started noticing this, we were like, surely this can't be the campsite. Come to find out, no, it was not. We remapped it, and it actually took us 14 miles in a different direction. And so that's why we decided that, especially here in the Pacific Northwest, not only will we use both of the mapping services when we can, but we're also going to pick up our physical paper map. I haven't seen a visitor center so far. That's the only reason why we don't have one, but we're about to go and find one today because, whew, that was sketchy. Anyway, with that said, it is time for me to open up my doors and get my stuff together for the day. I'm going to go ahead and fold my blankets, make my bed, pick out what I'm going to be wearing, and kind of organize some of the things and take out my trash. Okay, let's get our refrigerator out. And every morning I have a probiotic, which is down here. Now Riley is still sleeping, so I'm doing all of this, getting ready for the day, and then I'll probably sit down and do a little bit of editing because, well, why not? We're not hitting the road for another couple hours. So here we go. Currently, I need to reorganize this, but there's nothing else I really need at this moment, I don't think. So we're done. We're done with this. And it can go back into its place. Also, we'll go ahead and put some water in my water bottles because every morning I do this in preparation for the day. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? There, it did it again. It did it again. Do you see how that could be creepy sounding whenever you're like laying up in your bed and then all of a sudden, yeah, that was me this morning. Now the goal is to drink one of these every day at least, if not two. And this is my water bottle that has all of my friends on it. Nomadic Nanny, Long Leg Livin', Aussie Van Man, Casey Life Adventures. Of course, we have 2 artists in a van, Riley, another 2 artists in a van because I really like this one. Mountain House and GoPro are on there because this was my official GoPro bottle for the GoPro games. And then I also have Drive the Globe on here. And Charles! I miss all these guys a lot. Yep, we'll be seeing him very soon, I hope, in Bend. Some of them, at least. Now, that's the best part of the van journey, though, is the fact that you can make all of these amazing friends like these on this water bottle and then have the opportunity to meet them on the road somewhere down the line. Now, a lot of people in more traditional lifestyle, they have their set group of friends that they go to dinner with or they go to drinks with or they have game night. But van life is no different. You can have that. The difference is you're in a physical vehicle, and because of that, you actually can meet for those dinner or drinks or game nights in amazing different places. In fact, that's one of the best things I have found time and time again. I get to see my friends, but always in some new place, and then we get to go explore. So that's kind of cool. And so, yeah, I miss these guys. But at the same time, it's never goodbye. It's always see you next time. Something I'm doing right now is kind of like a little test is this is my Jackery and I needed to plug it in, but I didn't want to put a panel out because, well, as you can see, it's still pretty wet outside. So I decided instead I'm going to run my van for just a few minutes because I need to do a couple of other things in the front anyway. So while I'm doing that, I'm pulling in about 72 to 73 watts on average. Well, I have this plugged in and then also my refrigerator. So what is this? Well, if we follow the tag, this says gray cell. So it's actually taking us over to this gray cell 300 watt power station. So this is kind of a way that I'm looking to possibly charge this guy whenever I can't get the solar out. Now this also does, of course, have a DC plug, but I'm trying different things and I'll be bringing you a full review of this one pretty soon just to see if I think it's a good one for you guys on the road. Now, anytime that I do a power station review to share kind of information about that, I've carried that thing around for over a month, just kind of beating it up, doing all the crazy things, testing in in a variety of different charging fashions, just to make sure that I think that it's quality enough to mention to you guys. If I have something that I don't like about it, I always do mention that. And I have some reviews coming up for a couple of power stations that you guys are going to want to check out very soon. One's a larger one, and one is that guy. But we'll get to that on another video. For the time being, I'm just running some tests and also seeing if I can't top off my power a little bit before Riley wakes up and we hit the road. Hello, Riley. Are you awake? Not yet, not yet. She's awake, she's awake, she's awake. She's not awake very much, but she's awake. So now we can discuss what we're gonna do for the day. So we're gonna do that, and then I will get back to you guys to let you know what the next adventure is gonna be. But also we have a couple things to talk about around camp, so probably bring you in on that one, because you guys are in this with us. So you need to know what's going on. Riley, how'd you sleep last night?
I think we were on an incline, actually.
A little bit, yeah, I noticed that this morning.
Yeah, so it was kind of difficult to get comfortable, but once I did, I slept pretty good.
Same. What'd you think about the rain?
That's what helped me fall asleep, actually.
Same. I listen to rain every night when I sleep anyway, so this was nice. And this morning it feels so good.
Yeah, it feels great.
Hey Riley, I think I got a video of some otters.
Really?
Yes. Oh my goodness. I'm super excited.
Do you think they're still there?
Probably not. That was like 45 minutes ago.
Oh, well, I'm jealous you got to see some otters.
It's okay. They probably would have beat up Tyson.
Oh no!
Yeah, they looked bigger than him.
Well, everything's bigger than Tyson.
Truth! Okay, so we just had a little chit chat trying to figure out what exactly we were going to do for the day, and I think we are going to go ahead and press north. Now, originally our goal was to find a campsite, sit place for like 2 or 3 days so we could catch up on a lot of different things that we need to do, but also so we can just take in some of this and relax and slow down. And we could do that with a boondocking site, but there's something nice about having a organized campsite from time to time because it has all of those amenities like tables, and we definitely want to spread out and work a little bit. So even though we could do that in our self-containedness of our van, sometimes it's just nice to treat yourself to a good campsite, and the National Forest campsites are very nice in this area, so we're thinking about one of those. We're also thinking about revisiting this campsite that I went to a few years back that I really loved, and if we can get that one, oh my goodness, for the price of only your Discover Pass, you can stay at this campground. There's no additional charges. They do have a bathroom, they have picnic tables, and they have a gorgeous waterfront that is part of the whole rainforest. So that's kind of where I would like to go, and I'm thinking Riley kind of would like to go there too, but we have a few backup plans just in case. We took a screenshot the other day of some of the places around us, so we're going to be checking those out on our way up there. We're about an hour away. You'll see on our next upload where we end up in the crazy magical game of where did they wake up today. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and get it together and put on some clothes, get ready to drive, and hit the road. Okay, time to take the trash out, and yeah, I think that's about it. Again, this has been a great stop off here in the Pacific Northwest, and something that's a little unconventional. I've stayed at a lot of different kinds of campgrounds across the country. I've stayed at a lot of different pull-offs, a lot of boondocking sites, and I will say this one was very pleasant. And I definitely enjoy the amenities that they have, especially with the amenities in this particular area being more and more spread out. Okay, at this point, Riley's changing and she has her Subi going so she can charge up her batteries a little bit. I have already changed and I have mine going so I can charge my batteries a little bit. And our goal was to drive back out to the 101 and then pick up a little bit of signal so that we can find our next spot. Now, this has been a wonderful spot. Like I said, I've truly enjoyed it. It was $25 for one vehicle or $30 for two. Now, we didn't get the comforts of that campfire next to the beach like some people did who are packing up right now, but you know what? It was totally worth it just the same. I'm super excited about paying for a campsite if it has a beautiful location, and this one definitely did. Tyson's getting ready for his travel day too. What? Poor Tyson didn't feel good yesterday, and so today he may still be feeling a little bit of that too, but it's okay because we had this nice place that we could stop, and that way he could chill out also. I think that was really good. Now, I'm gonna ask Riley one more question before we wrap up this video real quick, just to kind of see what her thoughts are on something. Okay, so Riley, the other day when we had such a struggle finding a campsite,
Which day?
Right. When we found out that iOverlander was struggling with Google Maps.
Oh, yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, so last night whenever we came here, we decided that this was just a good spot to kind of hang out because otherwise we would have continued doing that, right?
Yeah.
What would you tell somebody who's coming up to the Pacific Northwest if they are going to be looking for campsites on iOverlander?
Use Apple Maps or anything that's not Google Maps, because sometimes they'll take you to some random like farm and with all the no trespassing signs everywhere.
Awesome. See, guys, I told you. I told you so. I told you so. So yeah, we're just gonna go head out to the highway, and basically we do know where we're going today, but we're gonna find a map and we're going to be using Apple Maps to navigate through the Pacific Northwest going forward. If you've enjoyed coming along with us and checking out this beautiful campground area that you can camp in your overflow, then let me know by leaving a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and remember, we're gonna be up here in the Pacific Northwest for a while. We're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time, and I can't wait to show all of the fun things that we are into because you're going to want to come up here and do these things also. Till next time, guys, bye.
Big Papa to Death Diamond, are you ready to roll?
Let's go.